I am here with Eliza Raine, wonderful author of Immortal Fury, a lot of our new favorite book. Um, and do you want to tell them where you just were? Because I would like to talk. I would like to talk about this.
So I have a book signing in the north of England. I live about an hour out of London, which is in the south of England, and we're doing a really cool event. So we thought what we'll do is we'll make a vacation out of the week a bit because it's been really hectic recently. Today is launch day. So we came up to the north of England. It's a really long drive. For you guys in the US, you guys like 7 hours, no problem. We're like, oh my God, three too many. We
Oh,
gotta
really?
stop. Yeah, we don't drive that far in England ever.
Okay.
So we were like, let's stop halfway. So we just found the biggest city we could find halfway that had a musical on because we love musicals. So we've just got it's 11:30 at night here, and we just got back from seeing Mean Girls, the musical, and it was so much fun. We being me and my husband.
So this brings me to my question. I'm gonna put Do Not Disturb on because I think maybe that'll make it so that I don't get all the bings when people join. Okay, so to me, a millennial. This book felt like a love letter to a lot of my very favorite media. Did what inspired this world, this concept, and perhaps it's some of the things that I'm thinking of.
So the multiple point of view bit with this book, I've tried so many times to write this story without the multiple point of views because it's not that common in romantasy, and I want to give people what they want and what they expect from it. And I couldn't do it. And Evadne, particularly,
Uh-huh.
um, I love writing a mean girl character who sees the light. It's one of my favorites. It's one of my kids' books I used to write when I was younger. It's been much harder to write into my adult stuff. And when I wrote this story, I couldn't write it without you seeing from Evadne's point of view. So I hope we've already got an inkling that Evadne is going to have a redemption arc in a way that some of the other villains in the stories are not going to get. Um, but yeah, there's definitely some influence there. From a media point of view, though, the biggest influence by far on this story is the TV series Firefly. I don't know if you've
Really?
yeah, the story started out not flying pirate ships, they were spaceships when I first came up with
Okay.
it.
I'm I'm a Firefly fan. I'm devastated that it got canceled. Like
They're
the
bringing it
whole,
back. They're bringing
wait,
it back as a
what?
graphic novel. They announced it last week or the week before. They're bringing Firefly back as an animated series with all the original cast doing the voices. I'm like buzzing about this.
My husband's not here right now, but if he was, he'd be like, coming in, tell me more. We watched that together when we first started dating. That's so interesting. Okay, because when
Right.
I conceptualized flying ships, I thought Treasure Planet
Yeah.
immediately.
So the
Um,
visuals, 100%. Yeah.
so that is so cool. And then um, would you say would you say that there were any characters from like the like Disney's Hercules that sort of like inspired other characters,
Yeah,
maybe?
Len. So
Yeah.
I've proofed the audiobook for this series. I don't know if my narrator reveal's gone out on Instagram yet, but it's really brilliant narrators, and I'm so excited. And I had to do like an accent profile for all the different characters, and he was like, "Len, we're going Danny DeVito, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." So Len the Satyr is definitely inspired by the Satyr character in Disney for sure. Um,
That just makes me
I know, right?
so happy.
But he's pretty much the only one. Like I did my degree actually is in history. But in the UK, a modern history degree is like 1300s onwards, and it was all like it's nowhere near as much fun. I wanted to do classical history, so like ancient history, but I couldn't do it where I lived in England at the time without leaving home, and at that point I didn't want to leave home. So I had to kind of compromise on that, and then I would just every time I was left alone go back and read the old stuff. I love Egyptian mythology too. I hope one day to write Egyptian mythology. At the moment, I just have the Greek and the Viking.
Norse?
And while my
Yeah.
Viking and Norse mythology books have done have been more popular,
Yeah.
I think in sales and stuff, the Greek mythology worlds I build, it's a bigger world, and I just love Greek mythology. There's
Yeah.
so much to draw on, and it's really good fun.
Well, the first time we worked together was on the Norse mythology, sort of Viking,
Yeah,
Valkyrie
yeah.
books. And that was my first introduction to you. So I, looked at your backlist like you do, and I saw the Greek mythology. I was wondering if someone, and you mentioned this just like in our pre-call, if someone loved Immortal Fury and just can't wait for the next book, which series should they pick up and why?
So, well, Immortal Fury is actually the very first series I ever wrote, and it took me years and years and years to write it back when I was working for IBM in a corporate job. I would take every minute I had to write this. I had like cork boards with red strings, like some sort of murder board on the wall, because I had all these different characters. Um, and it was back then it was called the Immortality Trials, and it was young adult and it had it had a romance line, but it wasn't the focus at all because I grew up reading like 80s 90s kind of um fantasy like David Eddings and Raymond D.
Okay. Yeah,
Feist
yeah,
and
yeah.
David
Uh-huh.
like like a real epic fantasy type
Yeah.
stuff. And it wasn't until I got like quite a lot older that I started to read romance and be like, oh no, this is what I want. Like I definitely need this in my life.
Yeah.
So the original story was young adult, and it was much more about that action and all of the different plot lines coming together. Then I wrote a kids series, which is basically Percy Jackson for girls, and it was so much fun to write. Pandora is very loosely based on Pandora, and it's all set underwater. I'm a scuba diver, so I love writing underwater stories.
You're
Like
a
they were my
scuba
favorite.
diver.
Yeah.
Do you know Trisha
Um,
O'Malley?
I do know Trisha really well. In fact, I
I
scuba
feel
dived. Well, I
I
didn't scuba dive. I snorkeled off her house in the Caribbean.
I see this, everything is clicking so well. So everybody who is unfamiliar, Trisha O'Malley is another author. She's probably most famous for her like Scottish Highlands magical romance. It's kind of like it I don't want to say like Nora Jones, not Nora Jones, Nora Roberts kind of. I mean, anyway, that's a similar vibe. But Trisha also like has a whole life underwater.
Yeah, she does. She's
That's
amazing. And she has a real life Scotsman husband, and they're really, really fantastic people who they travel the world, they do all this amazing stuff. They're very cool.
yeah,
And her books are funny. She's as funny as her books are in real life. She's so much fun to hang out with.
that's so cool that you get to do that together outside of, author world, book world. You get to be in
Yeah,
underwater
that's
world. So this
yeah.
this kids series that you said is Percy
Mm.
Jackson for girls. You said it takes place a lot underwater?
Yeah, that's so. And then after I wrote that, I was like, so this is fun, but I really want to do this full time now. So I was about 7 books in, and I said to my husband, I really, really want to write full time now. I think I'm gonna have to write more what people want in a broader environment.
Sure.
And then I started reading Laura Thalassa actually, and books like that. And I was like, oh, I like this. There is swearing, and there is sex, and there is action, and there is depth, and there is all this stuff that didn't exist in my like 80s fantasy and didn't exist in my other contemporary rom-coms and stuff that I was reading a lot of. And I was like, oh, this is really, really exciting. So then I wrote The Power of Hades, which it's a trilogy called The Hades Trials. And that
Hmm.
is definitely one of the most fun series I've ever written in my life
Did that one
because it
just
had
get
all my best
something new?
ideas. Huh?
Did that one just get something new?
Yes, all that they've all been recovered. They've all been recovered.
The Hades
Uh,
Trials.
Yeah, so it's an older series. That was back when you could write much shorter books. Nowadays, romanticy, you got to go a bit more. People want more, rightly
I
so.
I
My books have
don't
got longer as I've written more, but they are very short. They are super short.
I don't
They're very fast.
know. People this book club responded so well to bite-sized chapters. The pacing people loved. So maybe the Hades Trials. What was it called?
Yeah,
Yeah, so maybe the
the Hades
Hades
Trials.
Trials
Yeah,
is like the perfect sort of stopgap for them as they're hangry for
maybe. Well,
more
it's got the
Immortal
same
Fury
characters.
world.
So it is set in the same world with the same characters. You only see Hades' world, Virgo, which in this series you're not going to see till the last book, which is book four. So you will see more people in this world, and it does have the same pace. I can't write any
Okay.
other pace. I'm ADHD as they come. Like this is my brain shorts out. That's why I'm cliffhangery. It can't. It's quick, and I've tried. I've tried to make them longer. I've tried to add more. My editor's like, let's take a moment, and I'm like, I can't. I've moved on.
I'm already two chapters
Yeah,
past.
we're done. So my books are longer now, but they're still quick. They are still quick.
Yeah.
I really struggle to write longer. I also struggle to read longer, and there's so many I like. There are lots of it. I really enjoy short chapters and fast pace is definitely. I think I try to write like it's a TV series because I love TV, and I think I just kind of keep that. I try to
Yeah.
write like it's TV.
It does. I thought the same thing. I don't know if I said it in the chat. I finished the book like, I don't know, 2 days into March or something like that. Like as soon as as soon as I had access to it, I just like ate it. Um, and it was delicious. But I absolutely felt like this feels episodic in the way that, all of the different POVs, the chapters feel pretty contained within like a scene. Um, and yes, it would make such a good TV series.
I love that. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. But that is really interesting you said it because when I wrote it, it was almost as 12 episodes for the 12 Trials of Hercules. And I think that possibly comes over. It's very hard. Like the scene with the Hydra, for example, if I had to write 2,000 word chapters, my chapters are between 900 and 1,500 mostly. But if that, let's say the scene with the Hydra is 10,000 words, if I need to tell it from three or four people's point of view, if I had to give them all long chapters, it would be too long. I wouldn't be able
Yeah,
to. So I had to swap around a lot. So I was really
yeah.
nervous with this series, really nervous. And it's been so great for me to give it to you guys a month before I released because I've been so much more chill today because you guys have all been able
Good.
to give me some feedback before,
Oh,
which has been so, so nice to
all
know.
of the feedback was so positive too.
Thank you.
I appreciate that you're not in the Discord, so you're not like, in there, but I think having your PA there to send you all like the good bits is perfect. There aren't
We're
bad
fragile
bits though.
creatures, though.
What?
We're fragile creatures, us authors.
I bet, but also I was prepared because I'm in the book review space and I am
Yeah.
often a bridge between authors and readers. So I also become a filter in a lot of ways. And not every book is for everybody, and that's totally
No, of
fine.
course.
I
Yeah,
did I did
absolutely.
not see a single I did not see a single negative like
Oh, that's
I
really
hate this
lovely.
book or like anything like that. The only things that were negative were like, God, I hate Hercules. He's the worst. And that brings me to a question. What do you have against Hercules?
So when I did do classical studies for a little bit,
Uh-huh.
it just struck me, and I that's just this is why I did put excerpts from the real texts into the
Yeah.
book. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've had to remove them from my audio because they're really jarring in the audio, but I'm pleased I've been able to keep them in the ebook because he a lot of people died, but obviously they're mythical texts, but
Yeah.
so many people died purely due to his ego. It's just pride. That's why his ship is the Greek word for pride. It was just
Yeah.
pride. He ran around just wrestling folk till they died, or drinking wine that wasn't his, and then killing people. And it struck me when I was reading it that the the world then was so what's the word? Rewarding. That's not the word I'm looking for. They were it was so alpha
Yes.
and
Yes.
you as long as you were stronger than everybody else you could get away with it
Yeah.
and there were so many stories even for this guy who was celebrated as a hero back then he did a lot of stuff that really wasn't cool really really not cool and I just thought what if he was the bad guy and it's easy to spin that in a world like today where we lift people up and then rip them down it's very easy to create that world in a fictional sense where you would celebrate a person who has been treating people badly for a long time and go away with it just because of who they are. And
Wow.
I do
Yeah.
think that it's a good time to write about. I've written Villain Gets the Girl, Gentle Villain Gets the Girl. There are a lot of better Villain Gets the Girl stories out there than mine, but my last one was ish
Yeah.
Villain Gets the Girl. Certainly the guy who set up as the villain gets the girl, but I don't write dark. I write violence and I do write quite graphic, but I don't write. There's never dark in the romance. I'm I won't even watch Traitors because watching people lie to each other makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
such a wimp. I almost exclusively watch comedy and bad shark movies. That's like where I live in my life. So to write this world was actually quite difficult for me. It's the first time I've had to put trigger warnings in, and that bit has been trying to. I needed a world where I had someone who would treat people that badly, and I had to put it on page, and that was a little uncomfortable for me at times and stuff. I'm fortunate enough never to have to had dealt with anything like that, and I want to do it properly and to do it right and stuff. But I needed him to be the villain
Yeah.
because I need and I want everybody to really 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 enjoy when he gets what's coming to him. And whilst I love villain gets the girl stories, yeah, this is definitely not one of those. This villain is getting his comeuppance, and I do think we're ready in romanticy for stories where the villains get their comeuppance sometimes. Some people need to be
Yeah.
punished for what they're doing.
Yeah. And I appreciate how clear you are from the very beginning and the fact that you made him her father. Like, no one's gonna be like shipping
Yeah, so one of my
them
friends said,
together.
"Are you worried they're going to think the villain's going to be a love
You
interest?" I was like,
said,
"She's his dad," and they were like, "Oh
absolutely
no, you're good."
not.
Yeah.
You said there's no
Not
way. I
no.
just, when we were, coming up with your like PR packaging, marketing hooks and that sort of thing, when you showed me, I have the art. When you showed me the art of Alexios, oh, I don't know if it's blurry, but anyway, um, the first thing that I had said was like, this is not Hercules.
Yeah.
I was like, we should put this is not Hercules on this because someone's gonna see it, they're gonna think it's Hercules, and they're gonna immediately like
No, do not
because
like Hercules. He's a
because
bad guy.
we are so used to it, but I really appreciate how this book, like, it is full of the familiar handholds that we love. It's like Deadly Trials. We get it. Excellent. Um, we've got forced proximity, but it has such a unique spin on things that I don't know where the book is going. I mean, the series is going. Um, and we talked before, I have pretty good pattern recognition. So, um, I'm like not going to spoil myself by looking up the Greek mythology, like what actually happens. Um, but I mean, I know that you deviate from, the mythos quite a bit. Obviously, like Hercules slays the Hydra, right? Like in real
Yeah.
life.
So he won all of them in real life. But what I have tried to do is keep every single trial, more than any of my other series, I tried to stick to the original myth with this one. So there are characters like Nesta, the centaur, who turns up at the end.
Yeah.
She is a real character from the myths. She did lose her husband did like die at Hercules' hand, and she went out on a vendetta against him and stuff. So I've tried to bring in characters throughout. There's some cool stuff coming up for sure. So, one of my favorite trials is in book three, um, with Epizon and some of his stuff, which is so Epizon. He's not a point of view character, but he's one of my favorite characters because I think every single person in the world needs a friendship like Lissa and Epizon's. Like, I love writing his characters so much. And
Yeah.
whilst he doesn't have a point of view, he has a full line throughout the stories.
Mhm.
Um, and whilst he is completely made up, there is nothing based on him from the original myths. I've tried to tie his story into one of the trials later on really tightly. There's also some cool stuff with some crazy rituals with Dionysus, which was the reason I made a son
What?
of Dionysus because he was the god of wine and he had some crazy shit going on. So there's some quite cool stuff. Yeah, big fan of wine over here. That's why Dionysus, so when I gave everybody got a star sign, Dionysus is my
Yeah.
star sign.
Oh, perfect. Amazing. I love it.
100%. Take the wine.
Yes, yes, fair enough.
Um, but yeah, I've tried to put keep as much of the myth as I can and a lot of the characters based around it, but then bring in lots of stuff that is just completely made up out of my brain.
Yeah, I thought it was really, really cool to see just the I don't want to say the duality of your brain because you are multifaceted, but to see your translations of ancient texts in, you know, something that a lot of like book talk bros would call like, smutty romanticy, like they would like blow it off. Um, and I really, really appreciated that. I hope you gotta find a way to get it into the audiobooks, my
I
dude.
think I'm going to put it at the end. So I listen to a lot of historical cozy, and they put loads of cool notes at the end of most of the audiobooks. So I think we're
That's,
going to put it at the end, which I think would be
yeah,
good. But I'm
yeah,
really pleased to hear that because this series is a little off market. It's not common to have so many points of view, and I know that's jarring for a lot of readers. And that's, as we said earlier, everybody is 100% entitled to enjoy and not enjoy exactly
yeah,
what they do and don't.
yeah,
And I, I'm not sure it won't be to everyone's taste. Also, putting in those excerpts was a little bit of a risk because I was like, oh, this is going to throw people out of the story. And obviously, as readers, we want you, as authors, we want you as immersed in the story as possible.
yeah.
So, constantly kicking you out into other people's heads and then throwing in like 3,000 old bits of text is a bit of a risk. So, I'm incredibly grateful for you guys taking the punt on it because it is a little less to market, I guess, a little bit less to
I
what I
think
would
you're,
normally
s-
write.
I
So
think you're
I'm
setting a
hoping.
trend, is what it
Do
is. I think,
you think?
we read so much of the same that it is so fun to read something so unique and different. Um, and Caroline Peckham and Susan Valenti, the Twisted Sisters,
They do.
authors of
Yeah.
Zodiac Academy, they are famous for their POVs and people eat
Masterpieces.
it up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I really think, with it being officially release day, I think that all of the people that are about to consume this are going to have a really strong positive reaction.
I hope.
Um, but it's funny because like holding the book, this
It's a
feels so
little.
much it feels so much weightier
Oh.
than I expect. I thought it was so short. I thought it was like, I don't know. I thought it was almost a novella with how fast I
To be
read it.
fair, I've got my copy here for a little book. It's got like 65 chapters. So I
Oh,
think
I
that's just the
know.
length of the chapters that
Yeah,
makes it feel shorter.
that is true. And when I was breaking down the chapters for the book club, I was breaking them down into sections of 5, which I should not have. I should have done sections of 10. So, but I feel like,
I think the standard in romanticism is about 2,500 words, and some of mine are like 900. So they're really short.
but I loved it. It just kept
Oh,
it
thank
just kept
you.
me going. And I liked that even though I felt like I was blazing through, the chats, they were all so active all of the time, which was really nice. I'm curious to see what happens when we have a book that has longer chapters, if I have to break it down chapter by chapter or something like that. We'll see. Um, but yeah, it is delicious. So, so fun, so fast. People are already, just a reminder, it's release day, everyone. But people are already like, when's book 2 coming? So can you sort of you do, I mean, typically have a rapid release schedule. I feel like you're pretty quick.
Book two is on pre-order right now for October 9th. Um,
Okay.
I am aiming for a little earlier than that. It depends. So we've had a real hectic start to the year with just general life stuff and book stuff.
Yeah.
I also have some other things happening this summer.
Some vague
Um,
publishing news, perhaps. I'm just
I have a bunch of print stuff coming out over the summer, which is really cool. So
Okay.
my Raven series, my Shadowbound Queen series is coming out in Barnes and Noble like once a month over summer, which is very exciting with Paige and Vine. And then my the Viking Valkyrie book you mentioned earlier is
Yep.
coming out in November with Scarlet Press. So that's really, really cool. I've also got a couple other projects going on which I haven't announced yet, but are super exciting. Mostly around special editions of old work, so nothing new, but really cool versions of older stuff. A couple of things happening there. But next month, when I get home from signing, I basically then got a good couple months where I can just really crack on with this. And because this is a rewrite, I have a large chunk of the structure there already, which means
Yeah.
it's unlikely I'll get stuck, which is usually the thing. I'm in the author world. You're probably familiar, might not be.
A
I don't know. We
pantser
call
or a
it
planner?
exactly a plotter or a pantser. I know every one of my cliffhangers. I know every one of my kind of my chapter cliffhangers, and I have key scenes.
Yep.
So I have structure, but then the bits between, all the conversations, all the dialogue is my absolute favorite. And I actually dictate a lot of the dialogue because I find it comes more
Oh,
easily. And then I
yeah.
type the rest and I type the action and the fight scenes and things like that. So most of that comes as I go. Like I have no idea half the time what's going to happen.
Are you are
And
you just talking? Hold on. I'm envisioning, I know your husband's in the room too. I'm envisioning you sitting there with your phone, having conversations with yourself.
oh
Is
yeah.
that how the dictation goes?
So my husband works at home for an American company, so we work evening hours in the UK, which actually suits both of us really well. But because I talk to myself so much and I sing really loudly the whole time I'm working, and he's on the phone all afternoon, we had to build me an office at the bottom of our garden so that I'm not in the house anymore because I make that much noise by
You got
myself.
exiled to like a she
Yeah.
shed?
To be fair, we put a toilet in there, a bar, a fridge. I'm pretty set out there. I'm pretty set. I've got
Okay.
air conditioning, which in the UK is like really rare. Like, I'm
Yeah,
good out there. I can be out there for days.
that's
Pretty good.
amazing.
It's pretty good. I just spin around in my chair talking into my phone. That is exactly what my life looks like.
I would pay good money to just for you to just like have a live stream going of your process for
Me
like
spinning and chatting
of you
shit.
just spinning and singing and talking to yourself and like it'd be
Honestly, I
amazing.
have a small fluffy dog as well. I have a Bichon Frise cross. He gets involved quite a lot.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Love to hear it. Oh my gosh. What are you most excited about that is or if you can talk about it that's coming up?
It is this series. It is
Okay.
genuinely this series. I am super excited to be in bookshops in the US. I'm excited to be in bookshops in the UK too. Obviously, I live in the UK, so it'll be really
Yeah.
nice to like be able to show my family my books in the shops and stuff. So I am very excited about those deals. But ADHD brain, once it's done, it's
Yeah.
I'm excited about the new stuff,
Yeah.
and because this is the first series I ever wrote, I poured so much into this world when I built it and these characters. I've never written anything as complicated as this, and to bring all of the storylines together for that many
Yeah.
characters was really good fun when I did it 8 years ago, and now that it's being brought up to the level of the rest of my catalogue, I've brought Alexios in, who I love. Lucas is an amalgamation of another few characters that aren't in it anymore, but I'm loving where his character is going, and I've got some really fun plans for his character, which I'm mega excited about.
There's a lot
Um,
of discourse about Lucas. There's a
I
lot. People are like,
really
I don't trust him. People are like, protect him at all costs. I'm just like, I don't know.
He's been super fun to play with because he is brand new. So, and Alexios and Vasari as well. No, I've never written a story where the female main character doesn't have an animal sidekick. I gave it to the dude this time. So I'm like, oh, this is weird. So I need to do some fun stuff with Vasari with that as well. He's super fun to play with
Yeah.
too. Because normally I have a big ass animal sidekick for every single heroine.
Uh-huh.
I feel like Lisa doesn't need it because she has Epizon, and
And the
like who
ship.
doesn't need like and a ship. Her ship is very, very, very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. So
Yeah.
she's not as in need of it. Whereas I don't want to give too much away, but Alexios, he needs Basari more than Nissa does. So
Oh,
um but yeah, I'm really excited to keep going with this series. I'm hoping I will be able to get it all out quite soon, much sooner than my last series, because all the structure is there. And
yeah.
I'm really pumped to keep going with this as well. I just need the space um in my author world. We've had some stuff keeping us in Europe at the moment. We've had to cancel all the US signings over the last year and forward as well, and we're not sure when that's going to finish. Just stuff that like we need to be local at the moment, which
Yeah.
is why I'm on vacation in the UK at the moment. We're off to the Lake District, which is a beautiful part of England I've never been to. So it's been really nice vacationing closer to home. We are able to go over to Berlin for a signing in a couple of months, so that'll be really good. But um, so that's been nice, definitely seeing more of the UK and Ireland. We went to Ireland last month and stuff, so it's been fun staying local.
Yeah.
Um, but it would be nice to have more time this year to be able to really get writing because this is the first time I've released a book in 13 months, and that's the longest I've ever been. I finished my last series February last year, so it's been a
It
really
doesn't
long
feel
time.
like it's been that long.
I mean, that's good to hear for me. And I've run some Kickstarters and we've been active. I
Yeah.
have a fantastic social media manager now who's been helping me
Yeah.
get the word out and keep the books going. And certainly Blades and Wings has been quite I've seen it quite a lot
Yeah,
everywhere. It's
people
been
have
really
never
nice.
stopped talking about it. So I think maybe that's why it feels so fresh because it's still very much being talked about.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
if okay, so if one of these readers in the Discord um likes the speed of, these books, how would you pitch them the Blades series?
Definitely the most on par. It's also the only other one that's first person present tense, so that if you like that, that's the way.
Okay.
Definitely it's the same speed, I would say. Uh, Probably the same level slow burn. This is very slow burn. Book two, weirdly, is the spiciest because so that series is called The Flame Curse Fae. To anyone who hasn't read it, it is Valkyrie. She and so my Fae courts, there's five Fae courts in the Yggdrasil world, which is based on Norse mythology. She's an ice princess, and she essentially has a magical version of I want to say ADHD, but it's more than that. She can't concentrate. Her brain works completely differently to everybody else. She just checks out of reality and has a place she can go in her head. But that makes her an asset to her family because she can store information in a magical ice gallery in her brain, basically. So she's kept a secret because she can't do normal magic and she can't be trusted to just even maintain a conversation with someone because she's so but she was so much fun to write as an FMC for me because all my other characters were very badass and sassy and they've had everything else stripped from them and all they've got is their wit and their voice. So they use it to excess. Maddie in that series, she's far more suggestible. She's far more impressionable. She's a little more naive and she doesn't really understand the world she's in the same way. And whilst I believe fully that women need to make their own way in the world, the stories I love to write the most are the ones where women find their power when they see themselves reflected in someone else.
Hmm.
Sometimes all we need is someone to tell us what we can achieve. And once we can see that back at us, it's a completely different thing. And Maddie gets that in Kane. Kane is the disgraced fire fae who burns anything he touches. And there's a really there's a part in that book where he kind of makes her realize that there was an Einstein quote, I think it is, if you judge a fish on its ability to climb a tree, it will always fail. And that stayed with me as a kid. Like we set these expectations on people, and then when they fail, even though they never had a chance of achieving them in the first place, we punish them for it. And that's very difficult for people who don't really know why they were told to do it in the first place because they were never able to do it in the first place. And that story, there's far more. There's lots of action, giant polar bears and wolves made of fire and all sorts of really fun
Yeah.
shit. But the underlying current of that one, that was one of my most favorite stories to write because Maddie is a little bit different from the others, and she goes on a really, really, really important journey to me where she discovers what you can achieve when you stop judging yourself by other people's standards. But the pace is very quick too. So
If Maddie and Lissa met, how do you think that
Lisa
would
would judge
go?
Maddie. Lisa would
What?
judge Maddie for sure. Lisa would give her a slap and say, "Come on, girl, sort it out."
She could be another mirror for Maddie, maybe?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, actually, Lisa and Kane probably have quite a lot in common. The fire, the lack of patience.
What about Kane and Alexios?
No. So
No.
Alexios is he's kind of loosely based on Tom Ellis in Lucifer a little bit. That kind of
Okay.
playboy, overly cocky confidence,
Uh-huh. Yeah,
but
hates
makes
a
him look like a
shirt.
super pop pirate. Yeah. But he's hiding a lot of stuff. So actually, I don't think Kane would have much time for Alexios because Kane says it how it is. I wrote that series originally with a lot more crass words and I had to remove them all because I was like, no, you've gone too far. But if Kane was allowed to go that far, that's how far he would go. Alexios, by the end of the series, you're gonna see, I think, a very different side of Alexios. But he is,
Is he a secret cinnamon roll?
he's He's all front. He's all front. He's hiding behind. He's got a facade.
I can't
Which
wait.
normally I write in my female characters. They put on the facade to hide what and yeah,
I
I would
love
say
I love that you're switching up the dynamic and doing all the
it
new
was
things.
very hard to write a male character who wasn't scared of Lissa because Lissa's fierce as fuck. Like
Yeah.
she's hard as nails. You can't mess with her. She's stronger than everyone else in her life.
Yeah.
Um, so to write a male character that you could really get behind, like obviously everybody has different tastes. I wanted to write a male character who was alpha. Obviously, secretly he's terrified of her, but he's never gonna let her see
Yeah.
that, and I want it like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why I'm really excited about the spice dynamic with those two as well, because I've never written a woman who's stronger than a man before, and I've never written that kind of dynamic into a romantic relationship before as
Uh-huh.
well. So that was really exciting. This is book 27 for me. So writing a book this different with a power dynamic this different. And I love the thought that in public he is going to tease her and force her to toe the line. And we have that it is fully he has full control over their environment the whole time.
Yeah.
So I am so excited to get to a point where he's going to hand that control over to her in private. It's going to be really fun to write because it's going to be so different to any other thing else I've written like
That's
that.
so interesting. I think, the fact that you have this established foundation um will really allow you to take a lot of like experimental creative differentiation when it comes to the romance if there wasn't much romance in it before.
Yeah. Oh no,
Yeah.
it's definitely going to heat up for sure. But if she hates him, it's going to take a little while. She hates him.
She had him kneel. Well, I guess she didn't she was thinking about it.
She was thinking about she was thinking about yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing as well. So when I first wrote this, the idea, again, I did mention ADHD loads, but ADHD rage is its own special kind of thing. And I'm sure even if you don't have ADHD, everyone in the world has been angry enough where they genuinely believe they could get superhuman strength because they're that
Yeah.
fucking angry.
Yeah.
And I wanted to write a character who got superhuman strength when they were angry. So that's why I connected her power to her emotion. But the older I get, I'm 40 next year, and the older I get, the more I realize that rage can be confused with quite a lot of other things.
Yeah.
And from a romance writer point of view, when you start mixing up rage with desire and rage with passion, they
Uh-huh.
mirror one another almost identically. So Lissa is about to find out that her rage magic has some more depths that I don't just go to rage.
What?
She has emotional magic, and that goes into many places she's never had the space, ability, or people around her to explore properly. So it's going to be so much
Wow. That's oh, what just happened? I just got a very strange notification, but I think it's all fine. Can y'all still see us in the chat and stuff? Yep. Okay, cool. I don't know what that was. But anyway, um, can we talk about the longboat? Can we
yeah.
can we just talk a little bit about the ships? And like where did those come from? Is it just research? Did you just research like naval ships? Was this a Firefly thing? Like how did you conceptualize the actual vessels that create the settings of this story?
So they did start out kind of like spaceships.
Okay.
A little bit. And Olympus was just like a world in space. And then I was like, no, this is a bit much. So brought it back to something a little bit more relatable for the real world, particularly with the Greek mythology world. So I wanted places that look like Greece. So Cancer, Hera's realm looks like Greece, and the
Yep.
taverns I've been to in Greece and stuff like that. So I tried to bring some of it back down to a little bit more relatable. So then I was like, well, ships, pirate ships, why not? But they needed to fly because why not?
Yeah.
And then I was just like, kind of just need different shit. I don't know, maybe too long playing video games is good or something like that. But
Oh,
just like
okay.
giving them classes and things just seemed really fun. Um, do you know, I used to drive to my husband 10 years ago when we were dating. I used to drive to his house with all my cats in the car. I used to take them to visit him. And I used to drive past a road that had Crosswind House printed outside it. And I just thought Crosswind was really cool. And the Greeks had some really cool names for different winds, like Zephyr and Borealis. And
Right.
they've just got cool gods for different types of wind. So I was like, I'm just gonna call all my ships after Greek kind of words for storms or wind and stuff like that.
I love
So
it.
typhoon, and they're all just like weather kind of based words. And I had a friend at the time who was working as an illustrator, and she did me these really cool concept designs for different ships. And I've just
Will we?
chatted with her, and she's not working as an illustrator anymore, but she said I can share some of the ship images, so they're going to be going up on Instagram soon. So I have, yeah, images of pretty much all of them. The Zephyr's the coolest because it's the biggest ship, so it
That's
looks the
what
coolest.
that's what I had the questions about because I was like, we've got giants, plural, on a ship? Like I need a visual comparison of like what
To
we're
be fair, there aren't any actual giants on the images, but I just had art commissioned of the platform with all the ships underneath it and all the people on the temples. So the big feast on the marble platform at the void. So I'm hoping that would be really cool to like show the scale of all of it.
yeah, that'll be amazing. Yeah, I'm so excited for all of this art. Someone just said I pictured them as super fancy modern pirate ships. That's interesting
What?
actually, because when I hear ship, I don't think modern, but then when, we see the Hydra and it's automaton type deal, I sort of my brain glitched as to what I should be picturing. But this art, I can't wait. That'll be really cool. I love also the map that I'm afraid that it's not going to show up very well.
Yes, so
Hold
that was a
on
map
here.
I had made years ago by a really cool guy called Fred Kroner, who did beautiful illustrations for it. I'm also having some new versions done in addition by the lady who did the maps for my Viking world as
Uh-huh.
well. They're coming in June, and she is doing me a ship diagram of the Alastor. So I'm super excited about that. That's going to be
Oh,
really, really cool.
I love it.
Um, but yeah, I love maps. I can't start working on anything until I've got a map. I've got sketches all over. My husband, in the UK we say takes the piss, which means teases.
Yeah,
He
teases
takes the
you.
piss out of me for
I
my
watched
awful sketches.
Taskmaster.
I love Taskmaster so much.
Yeah, too.
Love it. So yeah, he's always like, you should show people what you send artists and what they send you back because my sketches are so bad. But I
Yes,
often start my stories with really terrible sketches of what I'm
I
doing.
love that. You should for sure.
They're
Yes.
really awful.
People would love it. I would love it. Yeah, the art I didn't realize that the art that I had held up earlier of Alexios, is it posted to your Instagram yet? Or was that was just a
Think
PR
so.
package
That
thing?
was done by a lady called Anna Cruz. She's ace. I think she's from Portugal, and I worked with
Okay.
her on a bunch of stuff. She's done some really beautiful character art. And then I've also got character art of all six POV characters, along with Epizon and Tenebrae, from Chelsea. They're all on my Instagram as well. So there's character cards of pretty much every character from the story.
Now
They're
I
really,
have to
really
look it
cool.
up because I need to see
I don't
Eric's.
have any on me. Eric's is so he has a Scottish accent in my audiobook, and I think he's my favorite in the audio. I love him so much. Alexios has a British accent. It's been so much fun. I'm so excited about the audio because I do pretty much all my reading via audio. Like I'm an
Okay, yeah.
enormous consumer of audio. So I'm really excited about the audiobook. We're also running a really cool like as you know, I don't know when that's happening. Pause that. I'm not sure. But I think the narrator reveal is going out this week. So
Okay.
if you're
Okay.
into audio, I got really banging narrators.
I can't wait. And
Proper good
yes,
ones.
Eric's is on your Instagram. I just needed to let everyone know that he is there. He is a big boy. Um,
He's the littlest of the giants,
I
though.
didn't realize, hold on, did we know Tenebrae's name?
Yeah. So she knocks Epizon out on the deck and she
That's
tells him his
right. That's
name.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Oh gosh.
She's like every story I have, I like to have something that I like to call the perma question, like that doesn't
Yes.
get answered till the very end of the whole series.
Okay, well that's good to know
And
because
Tenebrae is your perma question.
everyone would be like, okay, what's going on with the the girl
Yeah.
in the basement? Like,
She's gonna just float along in the background there, popping up with crazy mysteries and weird little bits of action the whole time. She's super fun. And she actually I'm now like, oh God, are there spoilers in the Hades trials from 2020?
oh,
I don't
interesting.
think so. I
When
don't think so.
chronologically speaking, where does
This is
it
set
take?
before the Hades trials.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't think there's any spoilers. Now I'm panicking.
Okay, so read the of Blades and Wings first, and
Yeah, go to the Viking world
then
until this
yeah,
is done, and then go back
yeah,
to the
yeah. It's good to know that you have, I mean, I knew that you had an extensive backlist. Um, the so the books that you, what are the books that are something Olympians? Like Olympians is in the
So
series
I
too.
the Hades trials is the first of three gods trilogies I did, and they're called the Dark Gods of Olympus. So it's
Yes.
Hades, Ares, and Poseidon.
Okay.
They're
Okay.
fun. So my Ares trilogy is my shortest. That's super, super short. But Bella she basically her anger management therapist gets kidnapped by Ares, god of war. That's super fun. She's mega sweary. She has a big sword, a sarcastic cat. She's super fun. So it's real quick, that one, real short.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna read it in a weekend, but it's quite good fun. And then Poseidon, I really enjoyed writing that one. Again, love underwater. So like, and I also like really bad shark films. B-rate shark
This is
films
the
are my
second time it's come
jam.
up.
Like, I
So
love them
like
so much. Like, I can't tell you how much I like shit monster movies.
I love it.
So I got to write these like demon zombie sharks. So, that was super fun. They're good. They're good, fun short stories. My two Viking series are a lot more in depth, and they're probably um better if you're going from a technical point of view. The Greek Gods books are super good fun and real quick reads. So.
You know, that's all. I give a book 5 stars if it makes me cry or if it makes me laugh hysterically. They're,
It might not do either of that, but you'll have a nice time.
well, I mean, what I mean is like, you can go, there are so many different ways to appreciate a book. I
Mm.
love I love a thick lyrical, meandering prose, like story. But then after I'm done with that, I want to go to, Immortal Fury and I want to just get sucked in and like devour it. And then I want to go read a horror novel. Like we contain multitudes. And I think that while not every book is for everyone, I do think that, a lot of books can be for the same person.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm not the emotional trauma person. You won't throw the book at the wall when you're finished, and I'm cool with that because I'm just a bit fluffy. I'm just a bit fluffy.
You're just
And
here for
I'm
a good
cool with that.
time.
Yeah, I love loads of I just want to write Indiana Jones meets like Outlander kind of, and then something a bit funny in
But
there
put it
too.
underwater with a shark.
Yeah. Yeah. I think like I remember when I grew up, my mum was constantly telling me off because I'd like climbed out of a creek like or a lake because I'd seen a bit of wood and thought it was a shipwreck or something. Like finding lost treasure was my biggest thing as a kid. So most of my books have this kind of Indiana Jones, lost treasure, Goonies type vibe.
Yeah.
Mixed with romance because I absolutely adore romance. But none of it's all quite I don't want to say light because I definitely love writing proper arcs for my characters and
I
taking them
mean,
on a journey that's really important.
yeah.
I don't it's all quite quick. It's all quite quick and it's all
Yeah.
I never want it to be yeah, you're not going to get emotional trauma from my books. They're not dark, but they will be really good fun. You'll have a really nice time reading them.
Yeah. I mean, even Goonies, there are elements of, scary, but also, they're searching for one-eyed Willie. Like, so it's it's okay, it's a nice balance. I never feel unsafe reading your books, if that makes sense.
That's really nice to hear because that's exactly what I think, and I hope at this point as well, you know what you're going to get from an
Yeah.
Eliza Raine book, and that will be fast-paced, lots of imagery, lots of action, and some characters you can get behind, and hopefully a couple of really inappropriate animal sidekicks.
Yeah. I can't wait to see more about Basari. Someone asked if there's a character art of him.
There isn't yet, but there definitely can be.
I
Definitely can
recently
be.
learned this was for another like PR box design I was conceptualizing. Um, I recently learned that like we can design our own plushies and have them produced. Yeah, I'll talk to you about it. Yeah, yeah.
So many animal sidekicks I would
I
do.
got yeah, so I recently
Oh,
like
don't.
I don't know how I like stumbled upon this because I was like looking into some wholesale stuff that you can only get when you are a company that is, becoming a wholesaler. And I was looking at some stuff and I was like, wait, you just like send them a technical
Mm.
sketch and then they make the little guys. So people are like, yes, please, plushies. Yeah. So
Oh,
yeah,
I have so many.
I can send you like the information that I found on it
That would be
because
amazing. I have an emotional support starfish from one of my series that I would love to have as a plushie.
I imagine seeing you at the next like book
This
convention
is stuff.
when you're back here and you just have it's not books. It's actually just a wall of plushies.
Yeah.
I love it. Buy a book, get a plushie. It'd be so cute. Um, gosh. Any from the chat, um, everybody's very excited about plushies. I'm so sorry. I might have locked you into this. Anybody in the chat have any questions that they want to ask before I wrap things up? When does the audiobook release?
I'm
Is a
hoping
question.
really soon. So Audible, when you submit it for approvals, it can take anywhere between 5 and about 18 days. So it's really
Yeah,
hard to
yeah.
get a specific day. So this one I tried to do a pre-order so I could give you guys an actual specific day. And then they said one I needed the files like 6 weeks before, so you'd have had to wait longer. So basically, I don't know, but I'm really hoping it's going to be before the beginning of May.
Okay.
So in the next 3 weeks or so,
Yeah.
the narrator reveal goes out. I might just tell you, it's going out soon anyway. So my narrators are Shane East and Samantha Brentmore.
Oh my gosh. I can't. You have to have such quality narrators to do all of these POVs. It's going to be
It's
awesome.
so good. They're so good. So Samantha does the most incredible British accent for Hedonay. It's so good. And she's got Aphrodite with a French accent that just makes me go, ooh, it's so, so brilliant. And Shane does, it is phenomenal. So he's got completely different accents, obviously for Alexios and Hercules, because their POVs are about a similar amount of words for this book. And then he's got a Scottish accent for Eric's, which is just delicious. And they've done an absolutely phenomenal job. I literally just finished proofing it last week, and I'm so, so excited. It's fantastic.
Oh my gosh. I am
Oh, I can't
dropping
now.
into our
So
chat a picture of a cookie. Listen, sorry. This cookie, someone made a picture of the cookie. Can I just drop it in here? How do I think I have to screenshot it. Y'all, I'm not technologically savvy, but can I put it in here? Oh my gosh, someone made a cookie version of the cover of your book, and it is intricate. It is phenomenal, and I just gotta find a way to show it to you.
see.
I know, I'm so sorry. Hold on, is it in the chat? It won't go. I can do this. I am
Have the
so,
chat open. I'm ready.
I just keep telling myself that I'm technologically adequate, and like the more that I say it, the more that I'll believe it. Um, oh my God.
Oh, I only have a team of one, but I do not know what I'd do without her because I can't do anything.
I did
Can
it.
you email?
I did it.
It's coming. Oh my God, that's a cookie.
Isn't that phenomenal?
That's amazing.
That's
Oh
nuts,
my
y'all.
God, that's so brilliant.
Oh my gosh, Christina, I'm sorry it kicked you out of the chat. We honestly, it was probably a good thing because I was struggling the whole time. But yeah,
Oh, that's
it was
amazing. Thank you
really,
so
really cool.
much.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
that's
was phenomenal.
awesome.
Okay, sorry, I got distracted. Are we going to be privy to this Alexios character art, or is it only for the privileged girls because drooling? Steph B reads, it's on her Instagram. You should
I
just
think it is,
honestly,
yeah.
everyone should go into the Instagram
I think
and
the only art that's not been shared yet is the ship art. I think that's it. I think pretty much everything else is out there at the moment, and I have a few things in commission. It's hard to do not safe for work at the moment because they haven't done anything. But I am having a really cool image of her with all her hair crazy and him on his knees in front of her with no shirt on, and it's really nice.
that's
It's not.
very
I
fun.
wouldn't say it's like technically not safe for work, but it's hot if you know what's coming.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get there, and it's gonna be good.
Amazing. I can't wait. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with us. Thank you for taking a chance on this wild book club concept.
Thank you so
That
much for
was
inviting me. It's been so brilliant to have so much feedback so early. Like, I can't tell you how nice it's made today, knowing that like so many people have already read it, and enjoyed it. That make it because authors I think are a like neurotic breed at the best of times, but around launch we get proper crazy. So, so,
yeah,
so knowing that so many of you had, and I was particularly nervous with this one with all the points of view, and it's not quite what I normally write. So thank you so, 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 so much for signing up and reading it. And anyone who's up for back, I've also never seen so much on Instagram. I'm not on TikTok because, frankly, I'm quite scared of the entire platform. I'm just very
there,
overwhelmed. It's the ADHD
there.
thing. I get very overwhelmed very fast.
Yeah.
Instagram, I'm a bit better at. Um, but I've never seen so much content of my books before the books come out. So thank you so much, anybody who's read. Well, I read and if you've posted even more, thank you. But just thank you everybody for getting involved and coming on the journey and telling me what you think because it helps so 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 much. And I was saying, Rachel, I can't remember if it was before we came on or not, but actually some of your comments are influencing a little how it's going later, which is super exciting for me. Reading what you guys think and what you're wondering and how you think things are gonna go is really fun for the pantsing part of me that's not quite sure where some of the bits are gonna go. Really good fun.
Oh,
So
well,
thank you so much.
it's been such an honor. I really hope that I get to meet you in person
Yeah.
someday.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.